Hey guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Roxanne. We are backstage at Reading Leeds Festival 2022, and the lads from Static Dress join me now. How are you, gentlemen?
All good.
Great. Yeah, brilliant.
Bit tired, but we're moving. We're all good. Yeah.
Bit tired because big weekend, obviously. You know, kind of fresh from the stage at this point. How these last two performances been for you?
Really interesting. To be fair.
Yeah, fucking great.
Yeah, like I kind of came into this with the expectation of playing to absolutely nobody.
Why? That's interesting.
So the way this festival, from an outsider perspective, for me, has ended up traveling is more towards like mainstream kind of music, and pop and rap and other music like that. And the rock side of it's kind of fizzled out. And I get it, because rock music over the past couple of years has fizzled out naturally. It'll be real on its own. So coming to this being a rock band, like, it's like the pit stage doesn't exist anymore. You know, it's like named something else.
Well, it doesn't. I think what's been interesting, we were chatting with a couple of people about this actually, was the fact that because there's particularly this year, I suppose, maybe a few less rock bands on lineup, it means that when a rock band does play, you get all the rock fans who are here. It tends to be that you actually get a bit of a rowdier crowd than you might have expected.
So that's, I think, what we received. So we're turning up at like 12:50 in the day, which is like, I don't think an easy thing, to be honest, because you wake up and it's like time for stage and you're like, my eyes aren't even open yet. Okay, let's go. So it was literally run on stage and there was actually like loads of people there, and I'm like, amazing. Oh, okay. And it's like a full-on festival kind of atmosphere, and the shows were incredible. Like, we had some events yesterday, which were funny, and then today a little more tame but reasonable, but it was sick.
Yeah, really, really nice to see those kind of big crowd reactions. I guess it's been building for a while, because now that the album's out there and everything, everyone's kind of getting to actually know these songs properly and all that kind of stuff. I guess the first question there is, now you're actually getting a load more of those songs live and on their feet. Has anything kind of surprised you about playing those album tracks actually out for the people?
That they fucking work live.
Yeah, for real. Because it was like half of these were written in studio environments, so we were never ones to kind of sit down and like go in a practice room and go through everything and be like, oh, how does this feel live? It was kind of just sit down, do it, done. Right. So to bring them out to live and then have it, you know, be done in the moment, it was a bit like, whoa, okay, how's this gonna work? It's like these songs sometimes we come out, I'm like, yeah, this is way harder than we thought it was gonna be. Like, this is so difficult to do, but we did it and it worked, and it's receiving really well. Like, some songs that I didn't think would go down well at all, people who don't even know us are getting involved with, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's really kind of interesting. Like,
that's great.
It's really, really cool.
And I mean, I guess it's a testament to the fan reaction overall, really, because, you know, it seemed to be overwhelming positive from where I stood. You know, it seems like people really, really kind of got into the record as well.
Yeah, I mean, touching wood right now, I don't think like we had anyone really say anything bad about it, really.
I was looking forward to that.
I know, same. I was just like, I wonder, like, because for me, I'm like, where can we improve on anything? And everyone was like, oh, it's great, and I'm like, all right. Yeah. But what's wrong with it then? You know, and it's, even when playing it live, people are still enjoying every single moment of it, and I'm like, oh well, might actually be all right. This, you know, like, we might have actually done an all right job with it. So. Yeah, it's cool for sure.
Yeah, it's got to be really satisfying, especially when you've worked for so long on something like that, to finally actually see it out in the world like that. It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Like, actually getting it out there and then getting it in front of people. Like, I've said this before. Like, we both have. It was like the biggest kept secret for so long because we didn't want people to know what was going on with it, because we wanted it to be a surprise rather than like, I'm dropping soon, and then everyone knows about it. It just wanted it to be like, week before, done, let's go. So now when people come and go, it's like, oh, it's my favorite album of all time, or whatever, and we can't, like, I'm sat there like, oh yeah, you know about it. Yeah, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Like, people actually know it's a thing now, and it's a bit weird to get head around, because we're already like moving on with other things now, like way far ahead. So this album for us has just been a kind of back thought.
Yeah, well, it's like 2 years old to like you.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
To us, it's like 2 years old now.
Just the nature of these last few years, really, isn't it? But that's kind of nice in a way, because you guys always do seem to be forward-thinking, you know, always working on kind of all manner of different projects. Oh, yeah. Where are you in terms of that then at the minute? How far forward are you thinking, I suppose?
Very far forward. Okay. Yeah, very. There's a lot of cool things we're kind of working on right now, bringing other people in the equation, because as we've realised, working in the way that we do, and now doing a touring, we're gonna have to bring more people into this because it's getting like too strenuous and too kind of hard to keep up the side of things that we're good at and what we own we're doing we can't keep up the standard of quality, if that makes sense. So we're now going to have to collab with some other people, see what we can make work, and then move forward from there. So it's going to probably, over the next year, the way we work is going to change massively, and we'll hopefully keep creating, keep building, and finding new things.
Great opportunity, though, because, you know, you're going to thrive on collaboration, surely,
Absolutely.
and actually bringing in people. I'm sure bringing in people you're either friends with or people you admire and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, for me, majority is like bringing in people that I'm friends with because it's people that I trust, and I'd much rather bring in someone who's not got as much clout, or however people want to perceive it, someone who I just believe in and who is my friend and who is a genuine person and actually is good at what they do and I respect it, rather than someone being like, oh, do you want the biggest name in the world to jump on track? Yeah, man, go for it. Because it's just like, oh, cheap hit, there goes the Spotify streams, you're such a good band. Like that industry thing, it's like, yeah, cool, man, it exists on Spotify in a playlist for like 2 years and then it's forgotten about, you know, because they've gone and done a feature with someone bigger and someone bigger. So
Right.
It's really trying to hone in and make something new and cool and just help other people go at the same time, because it's like Reading Leeds Festival, I was saying this before, it's like we're getting new headliners, and it's like I look at like Rock World right now and I look at like downloads and stuff, and it does feel a bit repetitive, you know, it does feel a bit repetitive, but now it's like starting to change as well, and I'm like, right, well, we've got to start bringing more other people into Rock World and doing all these other things to grow it, to keep it going, because otherwise it'll just do what it did over the past few years. Like I said before, it'll just start fizzling out.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the interesting thing, isn't it? Because it's great to see the likes of, like, Bring Me, obviously, headlining tonight, and that's going to be such an amazing moment, especially at a festival like this. Hope everything keeps growing and kind of scene can build around these things. That's how these scenes work, you know?
Exactly, and I think even looking at what they're doing, it's like they're doing the same sort of thing where they're like getting all these younger artists that, you know, they've got a fan base, they've got a huge fan base, and it's like they're pulling up people, they're getting in people, like the whole Malta Fest, for example. Like, they're doing all this other stuff to raise awareness of other acts and bands, because I think in rock industry, there was this big perception in band world that I've found where it's like, people seem to think you can only listen to one band at once.
Right.
And that's where this competitiveness comes from, and everyone's just like, oh, they can only listen to my band thing, and it's so weird. Like, it's so weird. So now we've got the boys at the top now doing everything and showing bits for everyone. It's sick. You know?
Yeah. It's something I've chatted with a few bands over the years about this. Actually, it's just funny how for years hip hop's always thrived on collaboration. It's only really in the last couple of years that's really kind of come back to rock in a bigger way.
It's now people are seeing the benefits of collabing because you see the numbers of it, which sucks because originally it's like, oh, I want to keep all myself to myself, because in punk world it's very much like, oh, someone else wrote your songs, oh, that sucks for you, and like people kind of hate on it and stuff. But now it's like you collaborate and you make something new, and that's how you grow. And then coming into the streaming world, like you're saying with rap doing it, rap world's now like benefited even more from that, because you've got all the old pressings, everything like that from like way back in like 90s hip hop and stuff now being on there. People's streams are ridiculous in hip hop world, purely because there's like 10 people on a track. Yeah. You know, so
crazy times. Hey, when everyone collaborates, you know, if it's authentic, it's going to work, and it's going to all kind of help everybody build and grow.
And that's kind of what's needed, and hopefully we'll bring it to the point where rock music has way more kind of promise for a future, rather than like, you know, dwindling a bit sometimes. There's been a lot of moments where I'm like, might want to go start doing rap or something, because like this sucks. Like,
I've been waiting for your rap album. It's got to come at some point.
Oh, it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be so oppressive and all horrible. Like, everyone's gonna put it on and be like ear bleeding. You know, that's gonna be it. Yeah, there you go. Next year. That's what we've been working on.
That's what we're talking about next year. Wait and see that on the Reading Festival stage. I'm gonna let you go in a minute, but before I do, in terms of these kind of newer projects and things you are actually starting to work on, when do you think we might start to hear this kind of next year or this next stage? I mean, basically, I guess that's the question. Are we still fully much in this album era, or are you already thinking about, no, we want to step on to the next thing now?
So where we're at personally, we're already thinking about the next thing, then the thing after that.
Right.
So the next thing, for us anyway, is already kind of made up, and we're like, right, that's what that's going to be.
Okay, great.
This is where we're going to go with it. And we're already moving on to the next thing, basically. Right. So we're going to let everyone kind of sit in this album era, because there's like, we played today and I was like, you know, show us hands if you know who we are. And there's a lot of people who had no clue.
Right.
No clue who we are.
The record's still like, it's still
growing.
brand new. Yeah.
Still growing.
What is it, like 5 months old or something?
If that.
Yeah,
like
it's not even a year old.
It's so new, and this is the thing as well. It's like from day one we tried to create music that's not disposable like everyone else's, because it's like you get these like big major label kind of thing, and it's like, oh, your EP's out, sick, move on. Your album's out, okay, sick, move on. The week after, and it's like, I want to like make art that lasts longer than just how it is in your hands, you know. Like we want people to buy the record, open the booklet, look through the lyrics and all that, and it's what streaming's kind of ruined, you know, because it's now, oh, you're in the weekly playlist. That's sick, that's cool. You've grown like that, but you're not making anything that lasts anymore. And it's like you'll see rock musicians jumping trends, jumping things, using rock aesthetic to get pop music popular, and it's just painful, because what we're trying to do is make music in a rock capacity, to be honest, last longer and have a fan base that kind of runs with it. Like we'd much like rather keep doing it on the stage that we're doing and growing up that stage and having devoted people come to it than just jump on the main stage or something like that and play, you know, to people who are like, oh, whatever, next.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, that growth starts at events like this, man. You can
100%.
convert people who've not heard of you before,
It's
get them
crazy.
going. That's what we like to
It's
see,
when you're
man.
seeing normies jump around. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, you've never seen anything like this
Normies
before.
in the pit. This is what we want.
I saw a few. There was a couple of dudes, I think today. It was just like, yeah, and I saw them get absolutely clapped, and I was like, yeah, all right. I ain't got a public liability insurance, so fingers crossed we're okay for that one. But
the point is, they were having a good time. That's what matters.
Absolutely.
Having a good time, dude. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys. I'm sure we'll catch up again soon, but good to see you,
Nice
all right?
one, man.
All right, Static
Nice one.
Dress, everybody.